Hi guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube. I'm going to try to do a quick video, and this is probably going to have to be done in multiple parts because I really don't want this to go to 30 to 60 minutes, which is what it would be if I just talk about this topic in depth. So I'm going to try to stay focused on this. The topic that I want to go into is understanding third-party grading. Notice I did not caveat that with any type of third-party grading collectible, whether we're talking about coins, action figures and toys, video games, comic books, whatever you want to talk about, third-party grading is what I want to discuss right now, okay? There is a lot of misconceptions on what reputable third-party grading and certification brings to the collectibles markets they serve, okay? That's what this video is going to encompass. So I want to start out by nailing on the head some of the myths and unfactual, completely biased information that's out there, both on YouTube and on a lot of the collecting online forums and websites. So I want to do that by analyzing what what certified grading brings to the collectibles marketplace, okay? So let's analyze this. All is what third-party grading does is it creates confidence. And as a result of that confidence, liquidity in the marketplace is then established and created, okay? So let's talk how it brings confidence to the market. Let's suppose that somebody goes into their video game room and they pull out a copy of Sweet Home, released by Time Lock Games, just like this one, for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a reproduction card. I think it came out, 2012? Yes. Okay? And they say, well, that Sean guy on YouTube, he has a 9.4. Mine's probably a 9.4, so I'm going to list it on eBay. Okay? Now, let's assume that I list mine on eBay. Okay? Mine's already graded. Okay? I'm going to most definitely earn a higher bid amount on my copy, all things being equal, than the person selling the raw or ungraded copy. Okay, that should be common sense. The reason why is, even if I had a raw copy, most people are not going to trust my grading to sit here and say, well, I just didn't get around to sending my copy to Wada Games. You know, I had other things to do, but I'm selling my raw copy, and I can assure you my copy of Sweet Home is just as good as this graded one, and it's going to get a 9.4 if you send it in. Just trust me, okay? Most people are not too confident in a seller who has a vested interest in the financial sale price of an item to establish condition on the item that he is thus selling. Third-party grading takes that risk and minimizes it substantially, okay? With third-party grading, confidence is established. One of the biggest myths, and I see a lot of unsophisticated speculators repeat this myth. They claim, you know, I'm really upset. I think third-party grading is a scam because now that third-party grading is coming in on video games, toys, other hobbies, the prices are increasing substantially. That's completely false. Third-party grading is not directly causing prices to increase in certain collecting hobbies. It is indirectly causing prices to increase in certain collectibles, okay? Reason being is it's the confidence in the marketplace that is attracting both buyers and sellers. That confidence is also attracting demand. Demand, anybody who studied economics, if there's a lot of demand and low supply of something, prices increase. If there's a lot of supply of something and low demand, prices decrease. Okay? Another thing that third-party grading does is it creates liquidity. Okay? Any established grading collectible that has third-party grading, whether it be AFA graded toys and action figures, whether it be coins and currency, whether it be comic books, or even video games, okay, has a certain level of liquidity, okay? Even if you want to get into Magic the Gathering and Pokemon cards, a lot of the vintage stuff that's being graded by PSA and BGS is attracting a lot of heavy buyers and it also brings liquidity into the marketplace, okay? That liquidity is what also increases confidence to allow more buyers and sellers to enter the marketplace. So it's kind of a chicken versus egg scenario. Which came first? Which caused what? Okay? Did the confidence create the liquidity, or did the liquidity create the confidence? Okay? Another myth that is permeating on a lot of the collecting forums, and I really want you guys to pay attention to this, because I'm sure a lot of you guys that watch my videos, you're going to know this already, but it's very important to review. If you don't know and understand this, please pay attention to this point. All these items, and I don't care whether you have a PCGS coin, a CGC graded comic book, a VGA graded video game system, AFA graded toy, or a WADA game. All of these items, okay, even though they're in a protective case and enclosure, still require maintenance and care upon handling, okay? One of the misconceptions, and this is on a lot of the collecting sites, and I really hate the people that post this stuff, okay? A CGC graded comic book slab is not airtight, and it's not waterproof. You don't believe me? I'll tell you what you do. You take a cheap, don't do it with an expensive one, you take a comic book that's graded by CGC. Get a low grade, whatever comic book you can afford for 20, 30 bucks. Get like a modern issue that some idiot graded that came back like a 9.4 that's still available on the newsstands. They didn't know what they were doing and they flipped it on eBay and it went for 20 bucks. Submerge it in a bathtub of water, okay? Let it sit there for about 3 minutes. Come back to it and let me know what you find. The slabs never were meant to be airtight or waterproof. Let's go to another collecting category. Coins, okay? I store all my coin collection in a safety deposit box at a bank. Same with my currency, okay? Don't keep anything like that at my house or any of the places that I peruse and work out of, okay? That said, if air is consistently getting in this slab is not airtight. It can't be airtight. Because if this slab was airtight, I'll show you guys. If this slab was airtight, this coin would be pressed up against the plastic case, and the plastic case would actually damage the coin, okay? Same thing's true for almost all other collecting categories. The two that I do put a caveat in, and I don't think it is airtight at all, though it comes close, would be currency and stamps. Those two items I know for a fact you're more able to get a close to an airtight seal, though I do know a lot of the grading companies don't want to do that for fear of the plastic being directly held up against the item in question. And over time, even though these are archival materials that go into the slabs, they can still damage the item, okay? But this is something that keeps circulating on online collecting forums, and I keep hearing people say, like, oh, my item's perfectly protected in this case. I assure you, if this case ever gets cracked, and you have to send this back to WADA Games for something called, they call it a recase or a reholder. Perhaps you've heard those terms before, those of you that are involved in coins and comic books. Very popular term on those forums, okay? You can send it in, and if the case is just cracked, what they will do is they'll do like a quick grade. They'll just make sure that the item in question is in the same grade that the label says. If it is, they'll case it for you and return it back to you. I've already had items, I'm going to show you one in an example here. This Ghostbuster set was originally an AFA 90. It is now an AFA 8.5. I sent this to AFA, and when they sent it back to me, the case came completely damaged. So I sent it in to get graded. It came back an AFA 90, 9.0, okay? But it was completely cracked. So I said to them, sent them an email, and said, you know, I'm a little unhappy. I paid to have this Ghostbuster set graded. You sent it to me, came back an AFA 9.0, but the case is cracked. So they said, well, Sean, we apologize for that. We're going to give you a credit to use towards our services in the future, but if you'd like, you can send the item back to us at our expense, and we'll reholder it. I said, okay, this is great. Send it back to them. They get it, and they go, we're sorry, Mr. Cermick. We got your item. Your item was damaged when that case cracked in the shipping back to you. It's now an AFA 8.5. okay? We will credit your account. We want to make this right, and we do apologize, okay? But at the same token, if you're a buyer on the other end, you got to understand, case is cracked. Case is cracked, things get damaged, okay? You cannot think just because something is supposedly hermetically sealed in a case, okay, that it is always going to be that great. Let me show you guys something. This is a good example. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I'm tilting this graded Pokemon system left and right, and the box that the item's in is hitting the plastic back and forth. Over time, this item, and any item, I don't care, Wada Games does it too, okay? Wada Games does it as well. It's not a VGA thing. Over time, this can get damaged in the case, okay? So, you're going to go, well, Sean, that proves that grading is a scam. Why on earth would I trust a grading company when you're telling me that I have to handle these items in such fragile care that even if I move the case, it can possibly get damaged? Well, here's the problem with that. How do you expect a grading company using modern science to construct a holder that completely preserves the item in the holder intact no matter what happens to it based on outside forces? Meaning, if I shake this case, of course the item's going to get ruined, okay? How would they be able to construct something that doesn't prevent that? They would have to hermetically seal the item in the case. And by the way, if they did that and you went to crack the case, guess what would happen? It would automatically damage the item in most cases. Okay? It's impossible. There was a case a couple of years back that I was involved in. For those that aren't aware, I live in a suburb of King of Prussia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. Okay? I live in Boyertown, to be more specific. Okay? I am roughly 50 minutes from Philadelphia. And on the other side of me, for those of you that want to Google something interesting, I am 50 minutes away from Adamstown, Pennsylvania. Adamstown is known as the antique capital of the United States, for those of you not aware. That's how I cut my teeth on the trade at such a young age. I was able to go up there and learn from the best of them. That said, a gentleman contacted me who collected comic books, okay, for many years. And he had a lot of key issue comic books from the coveted early 1960s through the 1970s, okay? And he said, Sean, I sent them all to CGC. I can give you a list of the grades. You can come over. I can show them to you. We can work out a price, okay? So he did send them to CGC. The problem was he contacted me in 2014. He sent the comic books to get graded in 2004. So for 10 years, they were already in the slabs, already graded. In the collection was an Amazing Spider-Man 7.0, okay? It was a beautiful comic book from what he told me. I did not see a picture yet. So I said, you know what? I can come today. I will look at your collection and make you a cash offer on the spot if I'm interested. So I drive all the way up to Adamstown. I meet him. Great guy at first. No problems, okay? He's respected. I sit down and we start going through the comic books and immediately something's off. I look right at the comic book and on his 7.0 Spider-Man, the complete cover has mold developed and it's completely wavy. It looks like literally someone took a book like this, put it in the bathroom, closed both bathroom doors, turned the shower on full blast, and literally put it on max heat, max hot water, and let the steam penetrate it. That's how bad it looked, okay? So I didn't want to say anything at first. I thought, okay, maybe that's just the Amazing Spider-Man. Going through some of the other titles. Tales of Suspense 39, CGC 5.0, same thing. So I'm looking at these books, and I'm saying, you know, gotta ask you, did CGC take into account the amount of water damage that happened to these books when they graded them? And he said, well, what do you mean? They're CGC graded. They can't get affected by humidity or water damage. And I looked at him and go, well, then what the heck happened here? He goes, well, I don't know. It's the fault of the slab. I said, it can't be the fault of the slab. So then he goes to me and he says, well, I'm going to go on their website because I know those slabs are airtight and watertight. And that's when it hit me. I said, dude, the slabs that any grading company makes are not airtight or watertight, okay? Humidity can get in to almost any third-party grading collectible, okay? When I store coins and currency in my safety deposit box, even if I'm not going there regularly, I go there once a month to check the coins and currency I'm storing. I also use a ton of silica gel because safe deposit boxes at banks are notorious for being humid. Okay? I want to put that out of there. Those of you that store coins, currency, historical documents, anything of value in a safety deposit box, even jewelry, you must use something like silica gel to soak up the humidity, and you have to change it often, okay? If you don't believe me, get something like this. This is a simple hydrometer that you can get at Walmart, Target, or any store. You can put it in the safety deposit box and just make sure, because it's going to have a battery in it. Make sure you change the battery routinely, otherwise it'll corrode. And it'll tell you what the high and low humidity is of your safety deposit box when you go and open it up. And it'll also tell you the average temperature, okay? You can get these for under 10 bucks. It's not a great expense. Always use these, okay? If you are storing, especially comic books, most people don't know this, comic books are stapled together, okay? Those staples can rust over time. There was an excellent story on the CGC Graded Comic Book Forum where I felt very sorry for the person that had this happen to, but they stored their collection in like a gun safe. Well, gun safes, any type of safe actually, is lined with concrete that can attract moisture. That moisture over time will rust and corrode any type of metal product, okay? It's also not good for paper documents or anything made of paper for that matter. So even if you store currency, paper money, in a safety deposit box, whether it's collectible or not, you need to use silica gel, okay? That tip alone will save you a significant amount of time, headache, and money some point in the future, okay? You cannot just store items willy-nilly because, oh, it's in a case, it's already protected. No. Third-party grading is not designed to give optimum protection for the collectibles that it serves. It's designed to preserve the grade, assuming the owner takes responsibility for also protecting the item in question as well, okay? So if you see somebody talking about that on an online forum, please correct them, okay? The items were never ever, the cases of these items were never ever meant to be indestructible. If you don't believe me, I really hate to say this because I love both VGA and AFA are owned by the same company, okay? It's the Certified Collectibles Group out of, is it Norcross, Georgia, I believe? Anyway, their cases crack very easily, okay? That's nothing against them because there really is no way, I don't think, to make a better case because most people don't realize this. These are custom cases, okay? The reason that Wada Games doesn't grade video game systems is because they use a prefabricated shell for a lot of their games, okay? So any Nintendo game that's boxed should fit in the shell that they're using, theoretically, okay? So the reason why they did that was to cut costs, obviously, and also then they can make a tamper-evident case, okay? AFA and VGA, because there's so many different items they grade, especially in the toy world of collectibles, and even the modern era video game world, that they have to use custom-made cases. Every time you send in an item to VGA or AFA, believe it or not, they fabricate the case on the spot. Unless if it's something like a 12-back Star Wars figure. That they kind of use universal prefabricated cases, but they're still fabricated on site, meaning they're still made at the service location where AFA and VGA grade your games, okay? WADA and other companies like PCGS, they usually have a mold or a third-party company that manufactures their cases, I believe, okay? I don't know if that's true for WADA. I know CGC does, and so does like PCGS, NGC, where they basically order out those cases from a third-party vendor. And then when they come in, they basically grade the coin and then encapsulate it on site with those particular pieces, okay? So I just wanted to do this video just to clear up some misconceptions, okay? I hope you got something out of this, okay? Again, a lot of my videos are done without any type of hype, without any type of, how do I want to say this, any of the antics that I'm seeing on YouTube, okay? I know in the long run, that's going to cost me subscribers. It's going to cost me views. Because most people who watch a video like this on YouTube, they want to be entertained, or they want someone like me to tell you to, oh, please go out and get a lot of great game. Oh my God, the market's going crazy, and it's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to just keep going up in value. By the way, that's incorrect advice. But that said, that's mostly what people like to watch on YouTube, okay? I do this different because I want to give you guys facts and knowledge that you can use, and hopefully one day you can become a sophisticated investor if you're not already there. And you can succeed both in collecting and at life. And that's really what I want for you guys, okay? Until next time, thank you for watching, and enjoy your night.